Now, it's a month to go. Have you had your invitation? Have you had yours?
Of course, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It's on my phone right now. Where's yours?
It's the first
coronation. No,
yes.
you haven't.
No, sorry. It's the first coronation in this country since 1953, the coronation of King Charles and Queen Camilla. It's been printed on recycled paper, of course it has. They've been officially released. Right,
OK, I thought they were emailing them out to save... In any case, I would rather...
That was save the date.
I would rather... Oh, right, OK, I would rather have the old-school stiffy you put on the mantelpiece.
Exactly.
Right, in any case, the invitations include the first reference to Queen Camilla, and details about the role Charles' grandchildren include a future King George, probably very photogenic little boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he loved
will play on the big day.
Well, let's talk to former royal correspondent and royal expert indeed and great friend of this programme, Michael Cole. Michael, morning to you. We've always known, haven't we, that it's always been the wish of the Charles that Camilla will be Queen. It's there in black and white now. She will not be Queen Consort after the coronation. She will be Queen. She'll be Her Majesty the Queen. And that's how Charles wanted it.
Exactly. This is an extraordinary invitation in many ways. Usually, as Dawn was alluding to it, I mean, royal invitations were on white pasteboard, known as a stiffy, with the Queen's cipher in gold and copperplate handwriting on it, inviting you to the great event. Here, what have we got? If you have a look at it, it's a little bit Laura Ashley 1975 by Hallmark cards. And there at the bottom, you can't quite see it, is resplendent, just below the fold there, the Green Man. And of course, he's a pagan symbol. I'm sure at the Green Man pub near Royston, which I know reasonably well, they'll be celebrating that he's actually on the invitation. But you make the absolute key point, Andrew. Here it is, Queen Camilla. Now, I covered the wedding in 2005 of the then Prince Charles and Mrs. Parker Bowles, and Clarence House, his own office, put out a statement saying that in the event that he became king and she would not become queen, that she would be known as Princess Consort. Well, that has all changed because Her Majesty the Queen did say it was her sincere wish that upon Charles's succession that Camilla will be known as Queen. That was the Queen's last great gift to her elder son. And there we are. We see them together, completely content, beautiful in blue, and getting ready for the great day. And I think it's worth saying that May the 6th is a day of huge destiny. Now, would you really believe this? Edward VII, who was Prince Charles's great-great-grandfather, he died on May the 6th, 1910. And shortly before he died, Queen Alexandra allowed his mistress-in-chief, Mrs. Alice Keppel, in to see him. And Mrs. Alice Keppel was in grief and she was ushered out of the palace almost shrieking. Well, she was the great-grandmother of Camilla Shand, who became Mrs. Parker Bowles, who is going to be our new queen.
You couldn't make it up.
You couldn't. A romantic novelist wouldn't dare to go there. And at the same time, from the political side of it, which I know you're interested in, Andrew, more than anybody, Herbert Asquith, as the king died, witnessed Halley's Comet streaking across a black sky. Well, come on, for drama, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Michael, do you think that people will ever forget the tapes? I'm not going to go into details, quite early in the morning, and the controversy around the whole Princess Diana issue. Do you think there will always be a level of resentment aimed at Camilla?
Quite a large level, actually. Memories are short, but a lot of people do not approve of what happened. Diana was only 19 when she was engaged, barely 20 when she was married. She gave birth to two children. She did her patriotic duty. She was there within the royal family for 15 years, and she was not used properly, and a lot of people resent it. A lot of people miss her, including me. Think she was a wonderful person. She wasn't perfect, but none of us is. She didn't pretend to be a saint, but she was a terrific person. And there's tremendous sadness about it all. And a lot of people will remember the third person in the marriage, Mrs. Parker Bowles, is now going to be the Queen. Well, forgiveness is a wonderful thing, and the people of this country and the world are very forgiving, and I'm quite sure that they'll want this new reign to go very well. And to be fair, the King and the Queen Consort have not put a foot wrong. He's been playing a great game since he took over. I think he's taking good advice and listening to it for once. And of course, we wish them well. But I don't think the memory of Diana, Princess of Wales, will be scrubbed out of people's memory. Quite the reverse. And I think she should be remembered, and I hope she is properly recalled at the appropriate times.
Michael, just quickly, one final question. Do we think Harry and William will ever be able to move on? Just quickly, sorry, I have to ask.
Dawn, they ought to be. They're two brothers. It would upset Diana tremendously to think of them being at loggerheads. What they ought to do is actually meet at that Green Man pub, which is about halfway between Sandringham and London, and sort it out between them, like ordinary families do. It's a terrible thing to see brothers fighting. It's one of the worst things you can see. So they should reconcile for the sake of their mother and for the sake of their father.
All right, that's Michael Cole, royal expert. Thanks so much for that.